Hey guys, Xaryu here, and today I am going to go over an awesome match from the North American World of Warcraft Regionals, Tempo Storm versus Method Reborn. As we're here looking at this game, in game number 1 on the Grand Arena, we see an RMP mirror, and I am so excited. This is one of the most exciting matchups in my opinion, and it's just what I like to cast and analyze most, because there's so many little intricacies and there's so many things that can go right or so many things that could go wrong, back and forth, and all three targets are really kill opportunities based on positioning, based on trinkets. So let's hop right into this first game. But guys, this is Tempo Storm versus Method. If Method loses, they are eliminated from the tournament altogether. If Tempo Storm loses, I think they still have a chance down in the lower bracket because they have not lost yet. So everything is on the line for Method Reborn. This is a very exciting game. The rogues go right by each other. They didn't find each other though. One big difference I would like to point out is Jamili is playing Arcane. He only has 1 block compared to the Frost has 2 blocks, but Jamili also has more blinks, he has those invisibilities, and he has quite a lot of burst. It's very interesting because we didn't see much Arcane sub on North American realms, but in Europe we saw a lot of people playing it, and now it's coming out here in the meta. So right away, Sness is going to open up the blind on Greki. Greki trinkets the blind. Jamili's trying to get the counter pressure onto Samayam. Samayam immediately trinket temps in the opener, and that fear coming out onto Xaryu. Xaryu does hold his trinket on that though. A little bit of pressure going on over to Snuts. Jamili just trying to get some damage out, trying to cast that Ring of Frost. Looks like he might have gotten stopped there. Fear out on to Greki. Is Jamili going to be okay? Jamili's trying to get the polymorphs, does keep getting kicked, and goes down from Samayam. I don't know what that was. I think that might have been an Ebon Bolt from Samayam. Let's actually rewind. Yeah, that was an Ebon Bolt Flurry Ice Lance or Ice Nova from Samayam with the Icy Veins, and Jamili just falls. Man, I know how that feels. I know how that feels. That is brutal. So Jamili goes down without the block. Really fast game 1 here. Wow. So Method Reborn is up 1 in the series. Wow, I cannot believe the start of that last game. Immediately Jamili goes down without using that ice block. I'm not sure if he was kicked in that Ring of Frost, but that Ebon Bolt with the Icy Veins just hit so hard, and that's it. Method Reborn take the mirror, the RMP mirror there, and here in game 2, it'll be wow, this is a very interesting comp pick, actually. So it's Ellie Shaman Warrior, Arresto Druid versus Arresto Shaman Demon Hunter Warrior. So Method Reborn picking a very strong composition in patch 7.2.5, but Tempo Storm with the Ellie Shaman is just so confusing for me. Ellie is not very good in this patch, and you almost never see Ellie Shaman, so I'm just so confused why they would choose this. I don't know. Maybe they think Ellie Warrior has a good chance versus Demon Hunter Warrior. Seems a little weird to me. Right away, Peekaboo is taking a lot of pressure. He uses Dive by the Sword. He uses Rally as well, which I don't know if he needed that because that skin did come out as well. Dive by the Sword might have been enough. Xaryu, though, going very offensive. Just spam purging, playing in the face of Tempo Storm. If they can just keep purging these dots, that's one of the things. If he is playing Electrocute, keeps offensive, it's going to be very hard for them. Xaryu's popping Ascendance, pushing in, spamming Purge. Still, on all 3 of the members, look, Xaryu's already half mana from just spamming these purges, keeping his team very offensive, and Peekaboo is just really on the back foot. Gareki gets in prison now. Peekaboo not out of the woods yet at all. Xaryu keeping up on the purges. Peekaboo still low. They're pretty much just all inning Peekaboo at this point. I mean, there's not much Jamili or Greki can do when they just keep getting purged. Bean now and Snuts getting very low. The pressure's turning on a little bit, but look at that Chaos Nova coming out onto Greki and Peekaboo goes down. Wow. Another quick win for Method Reborn. They did oh, look at that excitement on their faces. They did a quick just all-in strategy where they were just spam purging and they just dogpiled on Peekaboo, and a little bit of overlap of defensive cooldowns at the start of that match with the rallying cry and the parry might have been it for Tempo Storm. So going into game 3 here on Tiger's Peak Arena, Method Reborn up 2-0 in the series. And wow, everyone was asking me, who's going to win this next series? Who has the upper hand? And I really said, it can go either way, but Method Reborn, don't count Method Reborn out. They're such good players. They have so much, competitive edge because they are used to playing on LAN, in that LAN environment. So here in game 3, Tempo Storm is staying with the same pick, Ellie Warrior Resto Druid, which seems to me is just such a weird comp pick. I think they could have played much better than last game, so hopefully that's what they're going to do there. But right away, Bean and Snuts getting very aggressive onto Greki. He does use that Iron Bark. or the bark skin rather, saves his iron bark for the next go. Triple blood elf silence coming out. Jamili does get low as well, uses that wall. He has Stormkeeper up and available to get that counter pressure rolling though, but Tempo Storm really on the back foot right now. Greki staying bear form as Bean tries to catch up to him, vortex him back. Peekaboo and Snuts battling it out, both 50% life, but they both have that parry, both have that rallying cry available, so I wouldn't get too scared for the Warriors quite yet. Beanslayer landing, or sitting that entire clone. Jamili getting kicked. Greki going into that prison now. Peekaboo getting low and does pop that die by the sword. Let's see if he uses rally or not. No, he doesn't. I really like that decision to kind of hold that. So with Beanslayer and Snuts, guys, for them to get the kill, it's going to be some type of CC chain on the Greki. It might be a focus kick into a focus Stormbolt, into a focus Fear, into a focus Detainment onto Greki, right? That's going to be the type of CC chain leading up to their kill, and they'll either train down Peekaboo or train down Jamili. Either one could really work while they're getting all of that CC. On the other hand, Tempo Storm's looking for similar setups where they'll go for like a Hex onto Seadu with a clone to follow that, with a, you know, maybe, or a Hex into a Fear into a clone, or a Hex into a Fear into a Stormbolt into a clone into a kick, right? So there's always a CC chain that you're going to see either onto Seadu or onto Greki. So right here is a full Fear onto Greki, and they're actually doing some pressure onto Jamili. Jamili getting very low. He doesn't have wall available. Gets to about 20%. He's trying to get some healing surges onto himself to survive while his healer is in CC. He jumps up. That was a nice leap up to the upper part of the platform. Now Jamili getting topped off now from Greki. Greki uses his artifact weapon there. Now a lot of counter pressure. Look, that full Hex coming out into Seadu like we just talked about. Beanslayer goes into the bash, into the full clone, and Snuts getting very, very low here. Die by the sword popped. He does have rally if he needs. He's getting very low. I'm very surprised Snuts is holding on to his rally cooldown. Let's see if he gets punished or rewarded for that decision. Looks like he's going to get rewarded. So, you know, thumbs up to Snuts. That is something I have noticed from Snuts' gameplay in this past, you know, in this tournament and past tournaments, is he really holds on to his cooldowns as long as he possibly can before using them. He doesn't just throw them out there whenever he needs. So, you know, definitely a very back and forth match. However, one thing I want to touch on, Seadu, very offensive with the purges once again. He's only about 15%, 10% mana now because he's been purging so much, but this time they haven't scored a kill quite yet. So if Tempo Storm can keep this up, and Seadu kind of just all-ins with his mana, it's not really going to go well for Method Reborn as dampening kicks in if Seadu's already out of mana this early into the match. I don't know if you guys saw there, but Seadu was going for a drink as well. Greki did Displacer Beast and Moonfire. That stopped the drink from happening, which is very, very crucial, like we just talked about. Seadu's mana bar could be the determinant factor if it does go empty before dampening even kicks in. Ice Fury trying to be casted by Jamili. It does get pummeled there by Snuds. Beanslayer getting low, but he does have Darkness. He does have Blur. He has a lot of defensive cooldowns. Double Chaos Nova coming out onto Greki and to Jamili. Jamili gets full feared, and that Detainment. A little CC overlap, actually. Snuds now taking some pressure with that Stormbolt. Looks like the primary target that Tempo Storm is trying to hit right now is Snuts. All of their damage is going into Snuts, and Bean still has so many defensive cooldowns. Once again, Seadu's going for a drink. Snuts is playing back. Peekaboo leaps in after them. Can Seadu get any mana at all? No. So Seadu, guys, pretty much tapped dry. Snuts at 5% life now uses that rallying cry. That's what I was talking about earlier, guys. Snuts uses those cooldowns at the perfect time, right when his healer calls for it, right when he needs it the most. Now Peekaboo getting really, really low. He has rallying and die by the sword if he needs it. Decides to hold on to both, though. Jamili getting kicked as he's trying to close out this match. Beanslayer getting low now, has the blur available, uses Darkness, though. Seadu's team is all in so much trouble right here really early on in this game. So I guess this is why Tempo Storm wanted this Ellie Warrior composition. They do well against this type of cleave damage if they can kind of get the ball rolling and they don't get all in. This time they survived the purges from Seadu, but let's see, you know, moving forward here in this match if they can actually close it out, because I know sometimes it's hard to close out games with that Ellie Shaman, even with that execute from the Warrior. The Spirit Link does drop. Seadu does have Ascendance up, and he uses it right as it comes up. This Ascendance is very crucial. He can use it to top AoE heal, top his team. If he can top Beanslayer and Snuts and just kind of restabilize them for a little bit longer, maybe then get a drink, this game could be pushed on. If he can't do that, I could see this game ending as soon as this Ascendance fades, since they have no link, they have no parries, they have no rally. Beanslayer's low on cooldown. Now look at this. Seadu's sitting down for a drink. Beanslayer under 20% life. Seadu gets a little bit of mana there, which is very, very crucial. The bash comes out on the Snuts now. Can Seadu use that mana to his advantage to top back off his team? Now Greki under half mana. Now Greki's 30% mana. Seadu's, you know, 10% mana now. So the mana is almost looking a little bit even, but Bean and Snuts are really, really hurting, and dampening did just kick in. 3%, 4% dampening. So this is where it gets very, very scary here in the match. It's going back and forth now. Bean and Snuts just can't get topped off. The full Hex lands on a Xaryu. That's a very crucial Hex. Jamili doing a nice little leap up onto the pillar, being chased down by Beanslayer. Now full fear out of that full Hex, just like we talked about. Long CC chain onto Xaryu. Bean under 20% life. Is he gonna be okay? Somehow, some way, Xaryu's keeping his team alive though. Snuts uses some offensive cooldowns now, trying to turn the pressure around, doing whatever he can to get that pressure back onto Tempo Storm. The Hex lands onto Jamili. Greki gets a nice dispel onto that Hex, and I'm just so surprised that Xaryu is keeping up his team for this long. This is the final match. If they win this, it's a best of 5 series. Method Reborn will save themselves from elimination and move on into this tournament. Now Jamili getting kicked. He does have Wall available though, Stormkeeper available, Sky Fury available. This is a lot of cooldowns. Ice Fury from Jamili. He has so much damage kind of, you know, saved up right now. He's gonna unleash it all into Snuts. Snuts leaps away behind the pillar. Xaryu got another little drink there while all of that was happening. Now Xaryu is actually beating Greki onto mana. So since he was tapped so early, I thought this game would be over, but now in 11% dampening, the Druid is actually winning in mana. Now Bean popping Metamorphosis, Chaos Blade, so much damage onto Peekaboo right here. Is he going to be able to turn the pressure around? Peekaboo still has that rallying cry if needed. Xaryu once again tapped. Looks like Gareki might be going for a sip as well. Beanslayer notices that and leaps over and stops it right away. Very well played by Beanslayer. He does get Bash cloned though in his attempt to stop that drink. Sheer comes out onto Xaryu. Beanslayer does get cloned. Now Snuts is getting low. Bean is still low. Stormkeeper now coming up from Jamili. Jamili trying to turn the pressure around onto Bean. They look like they're trying to hit Bean a little bit more than they were earlier on in the match. And it looks like it's paying off for them. The full Cyclone lands onto Xaryu. Bean still getting low. Now Jamili getting low. The full fear onto Greki. The Iron Bark and the wall from Jamili. A little bit of overlap, but it was probably needed. The Hex lands onto Greki. Jamili dispels the Hex. Now Jamili's running away, leaping up onto the pillar once again. Beautiful leaps, but hot pursuit by Bean. Bean just jumps up there because he can double jump as a Demon Hunter. Now Snuts, 20% life still, man. This is back and forth game. 10% life. Is he going to be okay? The Link does come out from Xaryu once again. Now both healers are absolutely tapped here. Full fear onto Xaryu. Beanslayer, 20% life. Into the full bash. Ascendance back up from Xaryu. With this Ascendance, he's going to have to top his team if they want a chance at moving forward in this game. Ascendance still going a little bit longer, but the Hex lands. Snuts so low. 2% life, 1% life. Snuts, 0% life. How is he alive? He does actually survive for the time being. He has that Spell Reflection up. Riptides and Earth Shields kind of keeping him sustained a little bit. The Cyclone comes out on the Xaryu, but Snuts and Bean are both solo. Jamili, though, gets kicked. Jamili at about 5% life. Bean does go down. Bean is the one to fall, but it could be a cross kill. Jamili going into that quarter Stormbolt, knocks everyone away, leaps away, and it looks like he's actually going to be okay. So Tempo Storm taking their first win in the series, coming back 1-2, trying to claw their way back into these games. Wow, that was back and forth the entire time. I can't believe it. These guys look pretty happy about that win. Let's jump into the next match. Wow, so here we have another RMP mirror. I'm still kind of flabbergasted from that last game. Here on Ashamane's Fall, we have the Arcane Mage, the Subrogue, and the Disc Breeze versus the Disc Breeze, the Fire Mage, and the Subrogue. So this is a little bit different than we previously saw. Last time we saw Frost versus Arcane. This time we are going to see Fire versus Arcane. And I think I like this pick. I think I really like this pick. This is a pick that, you know, Fire has a lot of that consistent damage. Fire has Dragon's Breath for increased heals. Fire has that Cauterize available if he does die before the Ice Block needs to be used to maybe save and hold onto the Ice Block. Now, Arcane has a lot more burst, has invisibilities, is really annoying to connect to, but once you do, it only has one Ice Block, and it can go down fast, as we saw in that first game. So I would maybe give the edge to the Fire RMP here, but Tempo Storm, known for the Rogue Mage Priest gameplay, known for the Rogue Mage Druid gameplay, whereas Method Reborn, not quite as much. Method Reborn has a lot of different compositions. Method Reborn has been practicing a lot of RMP, and they actually did very well, got rank 1 on ladder as RMP pretty recently, so their RMP is coming out, but it's not something that they are like really practiced on like Tempo Storm is. So we'll see triple CC coming out right away from Tempo Storm. This is looking great for Tempo Storm right away. Sam I Am does Trinket, pop his Tem Shield, but the damage is getting stopped with that Dragon's Breath, the kick onto Jamili. Looks like Sam I Am should be okay for now. That Pain Suppression comes out, the Archangel comes out, Xaryu into that half polymorph. Sam I Am on the back foot a little bit. Tempo Storm's coming out of the gates very strong now. It's time for Method Reborn to get some counter pressure. The full kidney into the full sheep. Now Jamili taking the pressure, using a couple blinks to get away. Snuts does connect, using more blinks to get away, while Greki's in that full sheep, into the full blind with the fear overlap. This is definitely very scary for Jamili. Greki does use his trinket there onto that blind, though. Can he keep Jamili offensive for now? Jamili does get kicked. Half kidney shot coming out onto Greki, and now Method Reborn is really on a roll, but Xaryu does get full fear. This is where Tempo Storm's gonna have to get some counter pressure, but it doesn't look like they're getting it. Jamili's still in the back foot. Mark of Valunith being casted. He's getting some damage out now, but Xaryu's not in CC anymore, so that's not really, you know, the greatest time to be going for burst. Now full sheep back onto Greki. Method Reborn is really finding their footing in this game. Now Jamili getting very low. The sap comes out and the full fear comes out onto Greki and to Peekaboo. Jamili's gonna have to ice block here. There's the ice block from Jamili. Can it get massive spell? It does get massive spell. Greki grips him away. Now Tempo Storm, guys, no ice block, no mass invis, no trinkets, no paints up from Greki, no Archangel, almost all out of cooldowns, whereas Method Reborn still has the Cauterize, still has the block, still has so many cooldowns. Xaryu has his trinket coming back up very soon here. Full kidney onto Xaryu, cheap shot onto Snuts, cheap shot onto Sandman, beautiful control there by Peekaboo. Full sheep onto Xaryu. Sandman popping that temp shield, perfect time to temp shield when your healer's in that CC. Can they get any follow-up? Doesn't look like it, and they turn the pressure around. Full sheep onto Greki now. Cheap shots onto Jamili. Jamili's getting very low now, 10%. Can he survive? Pops the temp shield. It does get purged immediately. Great purge from, I don't know if that was Sam or Xaryu, but that was incredibly timed. Ring of Frost going down. He's trying to shoot the kick of Snut. Samayam now into that kidney, but no CC onto Xaryu quite yet, which is very unfortunate. Now Jamili does get kicked, casting that Ring of Frost, keeping himself alive. Snuts does run into the Ring of Frost, get an instant dispel. He's trying to get some type of CC to any type of counter pressure. The Dragon's Breath into the full poly onto Greki. Now Jamili's alone behind the pillar. Snuts gets that cheap shot. He does go down. The blind comes down on the Snuts, but it was too late. And Method Reborn are going to win the RMP mirror once again. That's incredible. Wow. Well played to Method Reborn. Well played to Tempo Storm. Method Reborn is going to take the series 3-1. Now that was just an incredible series and a joy to watch, a joy to analyze and commentate. If you guys liked these games, make sure to thumbs it up. Congratulations to Method Reborn, my Method boys, going further in this tournament. Thumbs video down, guys, if you didn't like it. Talk to me in the comments for what you guys want to see next time, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Peace!